do, because if you want to
Because
see
I don't
your
think I'm
hands,
gonna just do a whole voiceover.
yeah, if you want to see your hands, let's see if this angle shows your hands. Because what I'm
Okay.
thinking is that an angle where, I don't know if this can go up a little bit higher and go
Yeah,
kind
the
of down a
tripod.
little bit.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But you might be able to see your hands.
Oh, looks like
Yeah, looks like my ends are like. Are
so
you
nice to see you relax, Christina.
It is.
I think I've been doing pretty good at it.
Huh?
I think I've been doing pretty good at it.
Ain't nobody understand.
She's been doing pretty good at it. I heard her.
She said she's been doing pretty good at
I
it.
heard you both times, Christina. But long story short, I said the same thing that you said. I'm like, yo, why do you guys keep sitting here trying to anti-rape? No, stop. What are you doing? Like,
Not at all.
it's that like exactly what you said. How are you gonna sit here and teach people something that they have to decide themselves?
They have to decide like, yo, didn't we do this already?
Right.
Why do we keep the same thing we thought already did 40 years ago? My mama didn't feel a lot from that shit. Like, it's not even like, oh, you know, that was 300 years ago.
Right.
That
We're alive and kicking.
now. Yeah, that was like now, people. This is a now situation. So, if I was born in 79, how old is my mama? And they were saying all the revolution stuff happened in what, 68?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Something like 10 years before I was born. And by the time I get to school, which is what, 5, 6 years later? So this is what, 80 something?
Right.
Y'all still teaching us the same boo-boo-boo?
Nope. So if they're going for all that, okay, no.
And I think too, if there could be this is what I've always said, well, I've said in my mind, I don't know if I've ever shared it with you in person, but this was in some ways what is so very different about living on a small island like how your father did around, you know, black people who had a sense of freedom in a different way. When you're on this actual soil, because it's so massive, you know what I mean? It makes our education and self-worth 10 times lower. And I've always said that to people who happen to come into the salon, who are not from the States, but they're black and they have this very disdain for black people, even though they're, you know, they know they're black, but they don't feel a kindredness because they feel like the work ethic and the morality is low, you know, for African Americans. And I'm like, yeah, it's low, but you also didn't grow up with this massive
Because my dad
amount.
makes the point, he's like, their government, everybody's black. The people who run the country are black.
Right.
Where he grew up.
Right. So your self-worth is going to be different versus when I'm growing up in the middle of America and everybody's white. Anyone who has wealth, anyone who has education, anyone who's taking care of me in the healthcare field, anyone who is taking care of my car run. You see what I'm saying? Like all the mundane and big things are all by white people. So whatever they feed you about yourself and your history, you're kind of like, well, I guess this is what it is because like my mom has a few, well, I was lucky to have a mom who had books, you know what I'm saying? But I know that's, you know, that was just her pastime. She wasn't, I don't think necessarily making a point to have those books on the shelf because I would read them. She was a young mother who was also curious. So she bought the books that she liked. So, you know, everything from Alice Walker to whatever is on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I knew to go to the library and search blinded, I used to search, for books that were by black people because there was no internet to just search in. So just a whole different thing when you see a black person be the mayor and also be your gardener. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have that in the world.
Yeah.
So everything felt like me against them.
Yeah.
And me is a lot less in terms of my human respect, how I just fucking breathe. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know, don't talk too loud. You feel me? Like, it might be an issue. So I have to try to explain that, but I do wish that that sense of pride was there. I know it's been beat out of them generation after generation after generation. This cannot be left. They won't leave you alone if you have any type of. And I never told Terrell this, but that's a lot of what kept me back from. He used to, I remember he used to want me to tell my story, and I used to be like, yeah. You put yourself out there, and you put yourself out there for something that you really believe in, and it has to do with black people.
Yeah.
Your taxes gonna look real different. You know what I'm saying? How you used to be able to swindle it like Trump. They ain't gonna do that shit no more.
Right.
Because they gonna come for you. Somebody gonna say something to somebody. And you got too many salons, you got too much success that is built on black folks, and all your shit will get burnt. And then they'll have you blaming, like they did with Malcolm X. They'll have you blaming your own people, like, oh,
Right.
a black person killed Malcolm X.
Right.
You know, a black person. If he was, I don't know what the hell he got paid. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got a little coin price, you know.
Right.
So I'm like, no.
No.
So me and Kalisha, she's been my therapist for that my whole life. You know, we call it the Marcus Garvey is one of my favorite ancestors, and we call it the Marcus Garvey effect. Like basically, you do too well, and they're gonna put you in jail and deport your ass.
Yes.
And you're gonna be done, and you're gonna have all these people who have invested in all this to go back to Africa or whatever. You know, in my case, get their natural hair done, and they're gonna see me as a sham, and then go right back to having a weed, or I'm gonna end up penniless, or like it's so fucking deep, so deep.
And that's why I think right now there is this like this effort of like anti-racism and everything. One, it's a new generation, right? But then two, it's the feeling of like, I don't know, it's just very deep-seated. You have to have their favor. I know my father was such a huge influence that he was always, honestly, I don't say anti-American, but he just was not about America my whole life.
Right.
And I'm not talking about African Americans.
But the whole
America,
institution of
it.
yeah.
The whole America is greatest place.
Yeah.
He like, I mean, from a baby, I've heard that. And he also could not care less what anybody thinks about him.
Right.
Anybody. Like
Right.
that has been his whole
Which is
life.
so funny because, like, based on even how you conduct all of your relationships are very much like that. You're
Right.
like, I know.
Kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was so, because my mom's kind of like that to some extent. She's just a little bit crazy about it. Whereas my dad is just, cause she really does care. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
She says to them, but with my dad, I can tell. Like, he does what he does. He just,
That's the freedom I'm talking about.
yes. And it's just so in him and everything. And
Yeah.
so, we have,
You
there
are
was
your,
never,
like God and you are your own censor, not them.
yep. It's not them. And
Yeah.
so there's no feeling of, well, I have to go through your institution to do this.
Yes.
I need to sit here and work on you.
Right.
And all those sorts of things.
Yep.
You just kind of, like you said, you did your salon and you do your sound bath, whatever it is that you do,
Yep.
that's what you focusing on.
Yep.
To teach your child that.
And it's called stay in your lane. Shit, my lane is freedom, so I'm gonna stay in whatever lane I
Girl,
choose,
yes.
and there's gonna be no limit to what I'm gonna do
Right.
because God ain't putting me here for no bullshit.
Right.
So,
This is where I'm at.
but it takes a lot. You know what I mean? To get, and you do have to have parents like yours, or at least
Yeah.
mentors, or someone to kind of
Somebody
show
who says
you
it, yeah.
that you're not going crazy.
Right.
Because everybody else around you is centering them. It's centering the white institution or
Yep.
America or, well, they won't give no BMW to no black man. They see a black man in a BMW, they want to stop you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that means you're not going to get no BMW.
Right.
And it definitely meant that I didn't take Honeycomb to the next level because I was like centering them
Yep.
and the fear, you know what I'm saying, around that versus what I really needed to do for all of us, for myself, but all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's,
Let me tell you about this color though.
so a lady saw me. I was in Costco a few days ago. Getting some I got some new glasses coming.
Oh, do
Got
you?
red glasses. Yeah.
No. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see this. You was right about these ends though.
Oh,
It's
it was
a
when I
lot.
twisted them. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? But look how long. Shannon, when's the last time my hair was this long? Never?
Probably no. It's been this long before.
Has it? Okay.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't think I ever.
How old is Liv?
Liv is 8. It's
So
been
it's
that
probably
long.
like 8 or 9, 10 years.
Yeah. It was before
That I
had
can
kids.
say. It definitely has been this long. I remember I was doing it. But it was
has been
way
this long.
before the baby was born.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because by the time she was born, we were already kind of doing cool shapes.
Because I know I got it cut right before I had Soleil. Because that's when Johnny cut it.
Oh, Johnny, I texted him the other day because he's doing like woodworking. I
I
don't think
know, I
he
followed him on
answered.
Instagram.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went on my page and I followed him on the Honeycomb page.
Yeah.
So I hit him up. Well, I didn't hit him up. I just went in his comments. Was like, hey, if you're doing woodworking, I need a few things. So I don't know if he reads those or if I
Right.
need to like DM him or what. Because he's such a hoe. I know he's gonna.
Exactly.
He's gonna read the DMs. Maybe not the comments, but somebody hit him up on DM. He gonna be
Right.
like,
He'll be
oh,
like, oh,
this
who is
might be
this?
some
Right.
good.
Yeah, I've seen that he's
I
done
would
that.
love to have some stuff in the salon and some stuff in my house, and like, oh, it'd be so great to have somebody who likes to do custom stuff.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't try to get artistic on me, I'm fine. I'm like, nope, I just want shelves. I don't want you to make a ramp and a this and a that.
Right. It's the show.
Yeah, I just need some good quality.
Yeah, I think it was that day because somebody took a picture of me with Libby right here. I was like super pregnant.
Yeah.
It would have, you know why it's coming up? Because of the Facebook memories. Or
Oh, the
whatever.
memories.
The memory
yeah.
came up that I was sitting, because it would have been early August, right? Because Soleil came August.
Mhm.
You guys colored my hair and then you cut it.
Oh, wow.
And that's when it was super short.
Yeah.
I think I kept it cut from there, but this, like, yeah, it must have been before Liv. This was like
Yeah, 'cause I'm
doing
like, yours
Pilates
wasn't
at your
this
house
long.
with DFA
Yep.
type long.
Yep.
That's how
exactly.
long it was.
Exactly.
So, it's been a minute. No, I don't know. We have like a little routine. It's better now because the girls are in school. But we always had a routine.
Are they
of, like,
physically in school?
No, they're doing